Good afternoon, this is Wanda from Scentsbyeme. How are we doing this afternoon? Today we're going to make some all-natural rose bath bombs. And we're going to be using bramble berry in my ingredients. So hopefully they will come out and look just like this. So let's get started. I'll let you know exactly what we're going to need to do these. You will need 2 pounds of sodium bicarbonate or baking soda. You will also need 1 pound of citric acid. And we are going to be using 1 cup of pink sea salt, which I got all my ingredients from Bramble Berry. I really like their stuff. And we are going to use a 1/2 cup of coconut oil, which I will be putting in the microwave at 30-second spurts. So I may not use all that, but we can save the rest for later. And I have some rose petals. And we're going to be adding some Rose Quartz essential oil, or Rose Quartz fragrance. And I'm going to be using some polysorbate 80. That will help fizz the bath bombs a little bit more. So there's a few things that you're going to need to get started. One is a big bowl to mix your stuff. Some mixing cups, some witch's hazel to spray your mixture, and some assorted cups, 1/2 cups, a dropper, and a sifter for your bowl. And then I got my molds from Bramble Berry also. They're very cute. I thought I would try them instead of doing them round. And we're going to be putting in the rose petals a little bit in the bottom. These are, I got 15 of those. This batch should do 15. And you'll need a knife to smooth out your bomb. Make sure it's nice and level. And a spoon to stir your oils. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is get the baking soda, citric acid, and the pink salt in the bowl. So you will need all of your 2 pounds of baking soda and all of your 1 pound of citric acid. And then we're going to add 1 cup of the extra fine sea salt. So we're going to go ahead and get that sifted and in the bowl, and then we'll be going to the next step. You want to use a sifter so you can make sure that you have no clumps in your mix. So just run it through a sifter. Make sure you have your gloves on. Might get a little dusty. I'm making these for Valentines, so we'll see how it goes. Just fine, let it sift through. Gets a little dusty, but that's okay. And then all of the citric acid. And if you do have any clumps like that, just take your hand and mesh them through the strainer, and then you'll get rid of those clumps. There you go. Now you can set that to the side. And you want to just take your spoon and just mix that in. I'm going to go ahead and mix this in before we add the fine sea salt, so we know that the citric acid and the baking soda is well incorporated together, mixed. Here we go. Okay, we're going to take our measuring cup and we're going to measure out 1 cup. Well, looks like we got a little bit left over, so I can use that for something else. Okay. Well, looks like I'm a little over, so I need to pour some of that back. Oh, now I went too small. Huh. Okay, a little slower. Now we're good. All right, now we're going to add that in. This is going to give the bath bomb a nice pretty color. And I guess you could add some colorant, but I decided not to. I'm just going to leave them with that little bit of pink in there with the white. I think it's going to show the rose petals up a lot better. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get our oil mixed and melted, and we're going to use a 1/2 cup of the coconut oil. So we'll be back when we get the oils melted. Okay, well, we went ahead and melted down the coconut oil, and we're going to measure out a 1/2 cup. And we can, if there's any left, we can use it at a later time. And we're going to put it in our mixing bowl, because mine is actually a 1/2 cup. So I'm going to just go ahead and pour that, because it's already melted in this nice pre-measured little that you can microwave right out of the pouch. And it'll re-solidify if you don't use it all, which is great. I love that, from Bramble Berry, which I didn't use all that, so it's great. Okay, we got a 1/2 cup. I'm going to pour that in there. Let that drip. Put my cap back on. And like I said, this will reharden. And that only took 30 seconds to do, which I didn't do very much because the bottom did not melt. So we're doing, so that was really good. I was real impressed with that. Okay. All right. We got a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. And now we're going to add in our fragrance, which I was going to use lavender, but I decided not to. I want a more rose scent in there, so I'm going to use the Rose Quartz. And this is a 0.05 ounce sample I wanted to try. So it's Rose Quartz. Hope you can see that. It smells wonderful. It's not overbearing. So this whole amount, which is 0.05, the sample size, will go in with my oil. And then we'll just take my spoon and we're going to pour that whole thing in there and mix it. Wow. That smells awesome. Definitely getting some more of the rose quartz. Love that smell. So while we're mixing this, we're going to be using 12 milliliters of the polysorbate 80. And this dropper is a 3 mil all the way to the top. So we're going to be using 4 of those. I can add right. Let that slowly get up there. What this does, it just gives the Bath Fizzies some more fizz. It's not mandatory that you put it in there, but it just helps it a little bit more than the citric acid would do. It's pretty thick. It's my first time using the polysorbate 80, so I'm anxious to see what it does in the final product. So this is more like my test bombs. Okay, we got one more to do. This is great. This thing just fills it right up for me. Okay. And then we're going to mix that very well. And then we're going to start putting it in our mixture. There we go. Get my lid on there. Oh my gosh, I can just smell that. That is so awesome smell. I love that rose quartz. Can't get over that. Wow, it did change the color a little too of the mixture of the oil. See? Yeah, it's kind of like a off clear color now with that and the rose quartz. Okay, at this point we're going to mix this in here, in with our mixture. And when I get it all mixed, we'll come back and start making some bath bombs. Okay, we got our oils in there, and now we're going to get them mixed all in. And then we'll be using the witch's hazel to get it to the mixture that we want. But right now I'm going to use my hands to get this oil all mixed in with this the dry mixture. We want that all well moistened. Oh, does that smell good. This is a pretty big batch, so if you didn't want to make 15, you could just cut it in half if you only wanted to do, like, 6 or 7 bombs. But this makes a nice big batch. This is going to do very nicely for Valentines. It's going to turn out really pretty. I just love that fragrance though. Okay, you can tell that this is really, really moist with the coconut oil, which is really going to give your skin a nice moisturizing feeling, and that aroma of that rose quartz is just unbelievable. All right, I think I pretty much have that in there. Before I start spritzing, I have my tray ready with all of my rose petals. You do not want to fill it, but you just want to put enough to cover the bottom. So when we start adding them, we'll have it. Okay, we're going to start spritzing, and then we will start filling the bath bomb molds, which you can use any mold that you like. I'm going to try these. I was going to use a heart shape, but I'm going to use those for a soap. I'm going to make some champagne and oh, what is that? That's that new spell. Champagne and oh my goodness, I took a blank. But anyway, and Love Spell. I'm going to use Love Spell. So I'm anxious to use that. Try that. I'm doing this very slowly, so because I don't want to cause it to react prematurely. So I'm just going to do little spritzes until I can get the feel. You definitely want to use gloves while you're doing this. I'm not usually a lefty, but it's okay. The consistency that you want to have is you want to be able to squeeze it and it doesn't break apart. That's the consistency that you want in the balm. So when you use, and it will dry out quickly, so you have to be pretty fast as far as getting them in your molds. This is a very nice texture. Okay, let's try a piece. Well, if I say just a little more, we're not quite there. And you can do it as you go. If it dries out, you just spritz it some more and it will reactivate. It won't activate too much as long as you don't overdo it. Okay, I think that's it's a little better. Okay. I want to make sure it's well moistened before I try to pack one. All right, we're going to try to do one, and then we'll come back when we get them all in there. But I'm going to do one. I'm going to take one. And we have our roses in the bottom. And what you're going to do is you're going to lightly take it, and we're going to fill one. And you're just going to press lightly. So, like so. And then you're just going to keep adding till you get to that top ridge. And then you're just going to press. You don't want to go above that ridge too much because then our lids won't go on right. Okay, I'm going to set this down just for a moment. And then what I do is I take my finger around that rim and get all that excess off, like so. And then just press. Got your knife handy in case you need to, but I don't think we're going to need it. Okay. and voila, it will be pretty. Just really want to firmly press down and then go to the next one. Okay. Get the next one in there. I'm going to show you how we use the lid. If you decide, you can leave them open like that if you want. They need to sit at least, you know, half a day or at least overnight. Overnight would probably be better. But these molds come with a nice little lid. And you just line it up with that tab there. Take this tab and line it up with that one. And then voila. It seals it. And then you can put it down like that or store it for later if you want. But just line it up. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and we'll come back when we're all finished. Well, it's the next morning, and we're going to go ahead and try these Bath Fizzies out of the molds that we left in all night. And we're going to see how they turned out this morning. So you just want to take your lid off. Comes off very easy. Spread your mold out a little, loosen it up, and it should pop right out. Flip it over. And look how nice that came out. Nice and round. And look at those pretty rose petals. They are going to make really nice gifts. So we're going to take all 15 out. And they're nice and hard, not crumbly. They will do very nice in the bath. And they smell wonderful. What do you think? Okay, let's try another one. You just want to pop that lid, loosen. These molds from Bramble Berry are very, very nice. I really am impressed with the way they just handle the bath bomb. Come right out with no problem. Look at that. That is lovely. These are really turned out nice. I really enjoyed making them. I did change a few things in the recipe. I used my own, I used rose quartz instead of an essential oil. I used a fragrance oil. But I think it goes very well with the rose petals. So I like my own creation. Love the Bramble Berry products. They do very well. And I think they're going to make nice gifts. Okay, let's check out the hearts that we did yesterday. That I did with the leftovers. And see how they turned out. Oh, that popped right out really nice out of the mold. Wow, look how pretty they are. They turned out just as lovely. I will be doing another batch just in the hearts. I have to get some more rose quartz. I used it all, but that's okay. These are beautiful. Look at the detail. Let's try the other one. Oh, look at that. So putting the coconut oil, rubbing it in the mold did help loosen them out very, very easy. So we'll just get these all wrapped in saran wrap. Put a nice bow on them for Valentine's. Okay. Well, we certainly do appreciate you watching today with me getting them out of the mold, and we're going to take the rest out. And we hope that you'll give my video a thumbs up and share and like it. And check me out on my blog page, which is Scentsbyeme. And I'm also on Facebook. So till next time, have a great day.